Welcome to Jamie's Wildlife Sanctuary in Grande Oregon. Some of you may have noticed that this is the second edit of this video. We wanted to try some new video editing software, and one of our viewers asked some important questions about should you feed the wildlife. We're going to talk about that here in this video. When we first moved here 9 years ago, Jamie set up some feeders to feed the squirrels and the birds that were hanging around our house. But we noticed that the deer would come in and raid all the food out of those feeders. So then we started doing some research to try and find out whether it was viable or not to feed deer. What we found out was that most of the government agencies were dead set against the public feeding of deer. The key points being politics, disease, and acidosis. With politics, the concern is habituation, the deer getting too used to being around humans, but I can tell you that as soon as the deer get a few hundred yards from our house that they know is sanctuary, they get back to being on guard and don't want to be around people at all. There's concern about liability. Somebody might get hurt because animals do get vicious at times. And sometimes the local neighbors don't want deer around their property. Also, in the state of Oregon, it currently is not illegal to feed deer. Moving on to disease. There is concern about the deer picking up disease off the ground, and that's why we try to keep the food in the bowls as much as possible to prevent that. Acidosis is a sudden introduction of corn to a deer's diet. We have been feeding the deer for 9 years now since we've moved here, and we run this program year-round.
There you go.
When there's not snow on the ground, the deer usually come in at groups of 6 to 8 at a time, and they cycle in and out, usually in the evenings after they've been on the hill feeding all day. But this winter has been particularly hard on them, and we're starting to get groups of 40 at a time coming in.
Oh, that's Nosy. What is that? Is that Nosy?
We named that deer Nosy because as a little fawn, she would stand on the porch off to the left there and watch the corn coming in and out of the garage. And one day we walked out the back door and had forgotten to close the garage door and found Nosy was in the garage helping herself to the corn directly out of the tote bin. And from that third day forward, she was named Nosy, as in she has a nose problem.
Yeah, that's Nosy.
We feed the deer whole, clean corn, or whole corn, depending what store you buy it at. And we like to cut up raw carrots for them. The bucks and the fawns really enjoy the carrots, but the does, they could take or leave it.
There you go, no neck.
The deer don't eat as much corn during the fall, spring, and summer as they do in the winter. But when that snow flies, they really eat a lot. And yes, that corn does get expensive. But it's well worth it. As Doc Gene Palmer used to say, our neighbor before he passed away, that he's never seen the deer as healthy as so much as when Jamie had started feeding them.
Chomp. Call it chomp because somebody took a chomp out of her ear. Oh, you can see that. Okay, settle down. obviously we don't have enough bowls.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed the view of the wildlife here in Northeast Oregon, and thank you for watching.